Hey everyone, my name is Dakota Wagner and I am the Southeast Region Coordinator with the Forest Stewards Guild. Today I'm going to talk to you a bit about the action plan for conservation that the Sandy Mush Forest Restoration Coalition has been putting together over the last year. Before I talk about that, I just wanted to give a little bit of a reminder of who the coalition is and what it is that we do. And so the coalition is made up of a bunch of different people from agencies, from local nonprofits, practitioners, community members, and other people that are interested in helping the Sandy Mush community reach their forest restoration goals. And our overall vision is to have healthy and resilient forests that protect water resources, natural assets, cultural heritage, economic opportunities, and quality of life for Sandy Mush community residents. And so now I'm going to talk about the action plan for conservation.
What do we want to see happen in Sandy Mush? This is what we heard you all say is important to you. Target number 1 is healthy and resilient forests that can sustain present and future needs of the communities reliant on it for its values, products, and services. Target number 2 is better and more wildlife habitat, especially when it comes to special areas like rich coves. Target number 3 is good water quality and watershed health. Target number 4 is sufficient rural livelihoods in which the community can maintain its independence and well-being. Target number 5 is community strength. Target number 6 is keep cultural heritage, including tangible things like forests and old structures, as well as intangible things like stories and rituals. And as you all likely know, there are some barriers to reaching your forest restoration goals. And we heard you say things like land use change, invasive plants, extreme weather from climate change, habitat loss, lack of land management, and commercial development are getting in the way. So how do we want to use all of our skills and overcome these barriers? Well, during our last coalition meeting in January of 2020, we thought of strategies that felt important and exciting and achievable. So how are we going to achieve our forest restoration goals? Some of you might remember the activity that we did back in January, where everyone wrote down on a card what strategy they would like to see happen in Sandy Mush. And we all traded these cards to music, sort of like musical chairs, and voted on the other strategies that we each liked. And this was really fun, and it was kind of cheesy, but I do really miss being able to see all of you and brush shoulders in the community center. And so from that activity, we also kept all of those cards and found that everybody had 6 ideas for strategies in common. So to achieve the forest restoration goals of the Sandy Mush community, we heard that the way to do that will be through 6 different things. Number 1, control invasive exotic plants. Number 2, ensure community wildfire resilience and increase capacity for prescribed fire. Number 3, create demonstration sites that exemplify forest restoration practices. Number 4, promote neighbor-to-neighbor learning networks and increase communication between members and stakeholders. Number 5 is to promote forest operations and management that are aligned with ecological goals. And then finally, number 6 is to tell the story of the land and share information about forest-based heritage. What we did with this information was to get down into the nitty-gritty and came up with categories within each strategy to guide which activities we wanted to do. And I'm not going to go into detail now about all of these categories and activities, and you're free to read them at your leisure in the copy of this plan online. But I do want to highlight some activities with messages from our partners, EcoForesters and the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy, that we have either already done or are working towards doing. And this part is the really exciting stuff. So one of the obstacles that was identified by the coalition is the lack of education or awareness about current programming, management options for landowners, or how to get help. A strategy that we applied to this problem was to promote neighbor-to-neighbor learning networks and increase communication between community members and stakeholders. From that, we put those words into action and created a website for the coalition. In this website, you can find information on events and see what's new. You can subscribe to our newsletter. And we also have this very exciting feature called Forest Planning that provides resources on a number of different restoration topics that you might be interested in, such as ecological timber management, invasive species control, non-timber forest products, wildlife habitat, and more. An obstacle identified by the coalition is a lack of land management due to a lack of long-term concrete visioning. To overcome this obstacle, we heard that the coalition wants to see demonstrations of management. And here's a message from the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy about what they have been up to, including putting together forest stewardship plans for recently acquired properties.
Hi, my name is Sarah Sheeran. I'm Stewardship Director with Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy, or SAHC for short. We are a local land trust that works to protect scenic views, water resources, unique plant and animal habitat, farmland, and places for all people to recreate in western North Carolina and East Tennessee. SAHC has protected about 13,000 acres in the Sandy Mush community, and we own about 2,800 acres that we manage and operate as nature preserves. As a partner in the Sandy Mush Forest Restoration Coalition, we have been working hard, particularly in 2020, to implement some of the strategies outlined in the action plan, including about 35 acres of non-native invasive plant control on SAHC preserves, and we've recently completed some forest planning in the form of forest stewardship plans on some of our recently acquired properties. We look forward to continuing this work in 2021, and I hope everyone is safe and well.
Another thing the coalition identified is the presence of different species and more invasives as an obstacle. Using the strategy Control Invasive Plants, Pests, and Pathogens, EcoForesters has been working on putting together a landowner training on the identification and control of invasive plants, among a lot of other things.
Hey everybody, I'm Lang with EcoForesters. Conservation efforts by Southern Appalachian Highland Conservancy and the North Carolina Wildlife Resource Commission assure that parts of Sandy Mush are not developed and will continue to contribute to the community by filtering water, providing wildlife habitat, and adding to the scenic beauty found in Sandy Mush. But most of the land in Sandy Mush is privately owned and equally contributes to the greater good, which is why this project offers support to Sandy Mush landowners in the form of training, resources, and forestry education. The vision for this project saw an opportunity to engage a community rather than one landowner at a time. Landowner interviews have shown us that you value your forest for different reasons, and that forests can be difficult to manage. Controlling invasive species can be overwhelming, and we want to help. Which is why we are offering landowner training on the identification and control of invasive plants. We're looking for landowners that would like to participate and receive assistance for their stewardship. We're also offering consulting and training, as well as custom management plans that will protect your national investment while leaving a legacy for your family. Be on the lookout for more information on how EcoForesters and the Forest Stewards Guild are providing resources for landowners. Thanks a lot.
Another obstacle identified by the coalition that gets in the way of forest restoration is the lack of technical resources. And a way to approach this is to promote forest operations and management that are aligned with ecological goals. And an action identified is to assist landowners interested in cultivating non-timber forest products, and the Forest Stewards Guild is very excited to move forward with that.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Chandler, one of the newest members of this group. I'm the Southeast Region Manager with the Forest Stewards Guild, which is an organization whose mission it is to practice and promote forestry that maintains the integrity of the forest ecosystems and the communities that depend on them. And I work alongside Dakota in our Asheville, North Carolina office. So the coalition and members of the Sandy Mush community indicated in their action plan that there is a desire to increase community cooperation and awareness of ecological forest management. And one activity that was listed to make this a reality was an education and outreach event focused on alternative forest-based revenue streams, particularly non-timber forest products. And this is where I get really excited because, as it turns out, my background is in forest ecology, and for the past 10 years or so, I've been focusing most of my attention and research on understory medicinal non-timber forest products, particularly American ginseng. So I'm really excited to announce that the Guild, in partnership with SAHC and EcoForesters, will be hosting a non-timber forest products workshop in Sandy Mush in 2021. And we're so excited to work with you all as we plan this event. I urge you to reach out to either me or to Dakota if you have any thoughts about this workshop, or importantly, if you may be willing to host the event on your property. I really can't wait to meet all of you in person and chat about these incredible non-timber forest products and ways in which you can grow and steward them on your land. Thanks so much, y'all.
So, what can you do with the information in this plan? Do you see an activity that you would want to take part in? Please let us know. Reach out to either me, Dakota Wagner, or Lang Hornthal with your questions, requests, and ideas. We'd love to hear from you. Our contact information is on the screen in front of you.